let us now take a look at how we can fetch data from our table. Okay, so here, right here, let me open and we see the data that we have in our table. We confirm that we have that data. So here, localhost, as you can see here, I'm accessing the MySQL admin panel. MySQL admin panel. So here, inside here, I have a database test. Then we go inside the users table. Then in the users table, if I refresh, we get this data. As you can see, we have John Doe. Okay, John Doe first, and even then another one. Okay, as you can see, we have these two information. Okay, so here this one was created, but let me delete so that we remain with only one. Okay, so let me delete this one. Okay, so if I delete, so we only have this one. Okay, so we have this one. So if I go back here, let me go back. So here inside the VS Code, my VS Code, we have the index.php file here. Then inside this index.php, we have this code. Okay, and this code, the first one here, right here, we are connecting to the database. Here, as you can see, we are connecting to the database. After connecting to the database, we insert data into the table we created. Okay, so here, as you can see here, we have the table. We have our table. It is called the users table. Okay, right here we have the users table, and these are the columns that we have. We also have the ID column, which has the auto increment. Okay, which has the auto increment. Okay, so we could have it like there. Okay, like that. Okay, but it was set to auto increment, so it is going to be incrementing automatically. So after they insert, so right here this code is not helpful because we have our data and we just want to get that data. Okay, so let me comment out of that one. Okay, so after commenting all of that one, we are going to need this one, connection.cross. Here this connection, this cross. So let me copy it out, and down here we are going to fetch our data. Okay, so that connection.cross, let me paste it there. Okay, so this is how it is going to look like. Okay, so here we are going to have our SQL command. Okay, right here, and here we have select all from users. So we are selecting all from users. We are selecting all the data from users. Okay, so after selecting that, we are going to run our query here. We're going to run our query. We specify it is called $SQL_fetch, and that it is going to be here. This result is going to be handling. Okay, so whatever. Okay, it's going to be handling. So from there, we are going to use the if statement to check the number of rows that we have got. Okay, so here we use the result. So the result, in the result, we are going to check for the number of columns. Okay, if the number of columns are greater than 0, which means we have data inside. Okay, so if they are greater than 0, which means we have some data. Okay, so and from there, if we have some data, we are going to try to loop through, okay, that data. Okay, after converting it into a string. Okay, so here, as you can see here, we are going to use the while loop. We are going to use the while loop, and we are going to access this result. Okay, the result, and we are going to use the fetch sock. Okay, and this one fetch the next row of a result set as an associative array. Okay, so here, as we can see here, we return an array. Okay, so in this array that we return and we put it inside this row variable, we are going to use this. We are going to use what we are going to use. We can use indexes, but here we are going to use the name of those columns. Okay, the name of those columns. Okay, it is going to return like a dictionary like object. Okay, and we are going to use we can use the keys. Okay, we are going to use these keys. Okay, these are going to be the keys that we are going to use. Okay, and we have the first key is the ID, names, and the email, and also the age. Okay, so we are going to access them like that. Okay, and then we are going to echo out them. Okay, so otherwise if these rows, okay, if we have like 0 rows, okay, if we have 0 rows, then if this condition is not true, then we are going to echo out no results found, which means the table is empty. Okay, so if we save and then we go back in the browser so that we can execute, remember this index.php is inside the my site folder, which is inside the htdocs folder. So if I refresh, as you can see, we get our data. we get the ID, it is 1, we get the name, which is John, and we get the email, John Doe, which is John Doe, the name is John Doe, and we get the email, which is john@example.com. So if I try to zoom a little bit, as you can see here, john@example.com, and even our age, which is 25. Okay, so that's how we can fetch data. You can try to style this data using HTML. Okay, you can try using HTML so that you style this output. Okay, so you can try that one. Okay, but that's how we fetch data from MySQL database, from that table. Okay, from the table which is inside the MySQL database. Okay, so that's how we can do it. So we are going to take a look at how we can delete, or how we can update and delete data. Okay, in the next part.